Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's a weather alert update from JB Weather.
And good afternoon, everyone. I am Forecaster John Bordash, back with you right now at noon to give you your lunchtime update on how our ice event looks to be kind of shaping up and how the forecast for the rest of today looks. It does look definitely a little interesting. I see Tommy is in first with a question. I work in D.C., live in Leslie. How bad it's going to be at 4 o'clock when I head home? Tommy, kind of the same as we've been saying the last couple of days. It's not going to be too fun, especially at 4 o'clock. You'll have freezing rain around. And hello, Cheryl from White Plains. So let's kind of get into everything. Let's kind of get inside radar here. So right now, this blue line indicates where our freezing line is. I do want to show you something very interesting. I'm going to show you consecutively. This is a modeled freezing rain line, but it's typically pretty accurate, and it is right now. This is how our models have kind of been handling the freezing line in our region. So, and this is for the exact same time. So this morning, it was modeled to, at this point in time, so earlier this morning for this time, it was modeled to be all the way towards like Dunkirk and back towards Bryan's Road. And with every new hour of information, it comes further south and east. We're staying a little colder than expected, which is allowing for freezing rain to really continue. And we've even seen some areas of maybe a little bit more sleet and up here. I mean, I don't know if this is, I don't think this is really snow up in this region. I think radar's just having a little bit more of a difficult time. Yeah, I mean, we're picking up a mainly freezing rain, especially here in southern Maryland across our region. We are getting some ice reports in now. We are talking about over towards Northumberland. Oh, so that's Northumberland County there south of Westmoreland County. We have so this is Northumberland, 2 miles southeast of Avalon. A tree down on a power line on Cooper's Landing Road. Down towards the Richmond area, they've been seeing a lot of ice. They started early down that way this morning. Near Henrico, Virginia, talking about up to a 1/4 inch of freezing rain. We have seen a lot of trees down towards the Charles City area, south of Richmond, down towards the Petersburg area. There's been a vehicle crash and a tree in the roadway. And then just kind of looking around, several trees are down towards Nottoway, Virginia. So we're talking about a lot of freezing rain down to our south and west. And as we kind of come in here into radar, what I want you to notice is that all of this is moving in our direction. Earlier, we saw dry spots moving in. We're not really seeing that now. Radar is really presenting more of a uniform freezing rain event across our area. And again, maybe we're talking about some sleet up here, but for us here in southern Maryland and the northern neck, we're talking about ice, and that's what's really going to be moving into our region here really throughout the afternoon. I know we have a couple of questions about timing. I will say it's still very hard to say what's going to happen tomorrow, so don't push that question too much. I'll have information on that this afternoon and evening. I want to see how all this kind of unfolds here. But kind of taking it back here, so this is the ice storm warning we have in effect. That includes almost the entire region. But I do want to show you the storm timeline right now. We're talking about ice impacts. Now that we sit right here at noon, we're getting towards close to the middle part of our timeline here. So we're talking about ice impacts are going to be the highest from just about now through about like 7 o'clock this evening, 6 to 7 o'clock this evening. This is when ice is going to be the most likely across our region, and this is where we can start to see some issues. Travel difficulties will be present as we take a look around current. Take a look around currently. Let me bring it over to. All right, so this would be 665 at Riviera Road, mainly just wet roadways. This is up towards Annapolis. If we take you southward here, let's take you into Lexington Park here. We're looking at what will look like mainly wet roadways. Granted, we are getting road temperature readings in like right next to freezing. They're at like 33 at this point, so it will not be difficult to see some slick spots on these area roads. This is taking a look in California. Clearly, these people do not follow JB weather. Henrico, Yeah, Judith, I'm the worst with pronouncing town names, especially when, I mean, I'm all right with ones here in Southern Maryland, but I'm not good. Henrico, that's the way I kind of pronounce it. So as Tim is saying, appears in California, we are around 30 outside and freezing rain, but not much sticking to surfaces. Again, this is kind of like a slow and steady thing. We're talking about a 1/4 inch of ice. Typically, in the summer, when you get a thunderstorm, that can fall in about like 15 minutes. So it will take probably, and that will cause those like small puddles, So it will take almost all day for us to get to the end result of a 1/4 inch of ice. So it will slowly accumulate. We're accumulating ice right now at about 5/100 of an inch an hour, and you might be saying that doesn't seem like that's all that much. But we still have another 6 hours of freezing rain. So you do 5/100 of an inch of ice an hour. Over the next 6 hours, that gets you to around a third, or about 3/10 of an inch, right? Yeah. I'm running on very little sleep, so we're going to say it's somewhere around that range, right? So it will be a slow and steady buildup, but we will continue to see impacts slowly deteriorate. So again, if you're traveling out there right now, do use caution. I really wouldn't recommend it. These are typically the people that are out right now that either they're essential workers, which is fine, or these are the people that always think that they know more than scientists. So, I mean, it is what it is, but do be careful if you do need to be heading out on area roads. If we head you on over towards Leonardtown, we have light traffic. Roadways are wet, but we're looking at that freezing rain really moving through the region right now. If I take you inside our sensitive radar, really kind of get you in here. Let's take it to the current time frame. We are starting to get ice reports. And again, we're close. I mean, we're already looking at trees down here on power lines down here towards Heathsville, and this is, I believe, Northumberland County. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're looking up to maybe 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain all the way up towards Fairfax, so one can only assume we're getting towards that level now. Earlier I saw a report of around 1/8 of an inch of freezing rain locally here in over towards White Plains. So this is kind of like, what we have going on. And you can see all these ice reports down here to the south. I mean, so we're talking about around a 1/4 inch around Richmond. We're talking about 3/500 of an inch, or just over a 1/3 of an inch of ice down towards Appomattox. Talking about 3/10 over towards the Lynchburg area. 3/10 down towards Roxborough, North Carolina, 1/10 over towards Lexington in parts of Virginia. So all of this is coming our way, and this is our local radar, so it only reads output so far. So there is a lot more precip falling down in this region, and we can see that clearly here. But this will continue. So again, right now in our region, generally it looks like maybe this area up and through here, and what might actually help is if we kind of denote where is that freezing line right now in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So let's turn on our 850s. So generally what we're looking at, and I want to kind of move this here and kind of zoom out. Let's take off the MEDAR stations. Let's take off storm reports. So generally what we're looking at across our region is areas that are north of this blue line I'm drawing. These are areas that are likely seeing more sleet. So this up here is largely sleet. I mean, maybe a little bit of snow, but it's mainly sleet. It's really, so once we get to this, oh, I didn't click the right pen color. There we go. It's really this region. So this pink line I'm drawing on top of that initial line we were using, this is our freezing line, right? So this is the area where there's ice. This is where it's cold at the surface, and I could probably draw you a picture too. Again, I haven't had time to make that graphic I keep talking about I'm going to make. So let's just, no. Okay. So handy dandy old paint. But so here we are at the ground, and this will explain to you what's going on. So here we are at the ground. There we go, right? And I know people tend to like my stick figure, so I will draw myself or one of you all. There we go. And they're saying hi. Okay, let's get back to work though. So our clouds are all the way up here, right? So just imagine that these are clouds. I know, I'm not the best artist. But just imagine that these are clouds. These exist about a mile up into the atmosphere, right? So right where we are, down here at the surface, down through here, we are below 32. A lot of you have temperatures that are like 30, 29, 28, 31. Like we're below 32 generally in our region. And that doesn't look like a degree symbol. And I just deleted all of that. So this is, it's fine. Anyway, what we have here, so the column of the air, so if you have clouds up here, what happens is that while we live down here, right, we get this layer. So if you slice the atmosphere like this is the cold air down here at the surface. This is the cold air below that horizontal line. This is warm air trying to ride on top. And this actually is not going the way I wanted to at all. So this might just be easier for me to do with my demonstration again of my canteen. So let me just bring it to me. Layer of the atmosphere. We live down here. Clouds are up here, right? So with this, temperatures can vary greatly throughout the column of the air. What we have going on right now, we live down here. We have a thin layer of temperatures at the surface that are below freezing. Much of this is above freezing, then it's cold, below freezing up here. So when the clouds form precipitation, they're forming as snowflakes all the way up here. This is like a mile up into the atmosphere. What's happening as they enter into this warm sector here is that they have melted into raindrops. But the cold layer here at the surface is so thin, there is no time for them to refreeze really. So they will fall all the way down as raindrops. And that is really the story today. Freezing rain looks the exact same as rain. You could look outside and you're like, it's just raining. It looks different on radar. I mean, we use different colors for it, but it looks the same to you as rain. The difference is what's going on above our heads. And because we're below freezing here, it's going to form ice on anything that is, below freezing. So taking you back inside radar, this is really what we're looking at. I mean, temperatures across the region, if we take a look at temperatures, I mean, we've stayed pretty much at the same spot almost all day today. And we can turn off our freezing lines quickly. We're at 34 down near the Scotland area, down towards Webster Airfield. We're at 32, though, Pax River, 30 at Leonardtown, 28 at Andrews Air Force Base, 29 up towards Annapolis. So it's very cold outside. So that's why we're seeing the freezing rainfall, and this will continue to be the story as we head throughout the day today. That's why we have that ice storm warning, and this was that ice forecast for you. I really think that much of our areas could still see up to a quarter-inch of ice. Now, some people thought that this could be similar to like the ice storm of 1994, and I tried my best to kind of describe how that wouldn't be the case, and I still don't think that that's going to be the case across our region. But if we're going to see high ice impacts, it will be over the next 6 hours from about now through about 6 o'clock going on into this evening. So just stay aware. If you need to travel, just be safe, be smart, but I really wouldn't recommend travel unless it's necessary. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And I know a lot of people want to know about tomorrow. You might see some lingering ice impacts. It really depends on what falls today. If we don't see that much freezing rain, like we see freezing rain, but if not a lot of it really kind of accretes on area roads, then you could be fine tomorrow, like by mid-morning and the sun comes out and lets it out a little bit. But then we could see some more rain tomorrow. So I'm going to work on tomorrow's forecast here in a little bit. Get you updated with that. But it is going to be a long... It's been a long day already. We started coverage here at 3. We are now at 12:14. So, but I think we've been doing a pretty good job of staying ahead of everything. We had the ice storm warning upgrade for Calvert County earlier. Now we are looking at freezing rain across the area. So it's not like this isn't happening. This is very much happening. And across the region, temperatures are down below freezing. So yeah, no bueno. But we have a very active week coming up. The next few days are all going to feature Well, every couple of days we're going to feature either rain or a wintry mix or something. So stay tuned. It's going to be active, and I'll continue to keep you updated. But right now we are looking at this icing event. Ice storm warning is in effect for Calvert, St. Mary's, Charles, King George, and Westmoreland counties still. So stay tuned. I'll continue to keep you updated here from the Storm Center. I'm going to take a quick break. And I'll continue to keep you updated. But I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, or this afternoon. And I'll continue to keep you updated. Stay tuned.